And we are on Wobbly Cam. That must mean it's some kind of video response. Now, this is a video response to Smuzno. He asked the questions, third party, knockoffs. When did it all kind of homogenize, become the same thing? Because it's not, is it? It's not the same thing. And when did knockoffs really become acceptable? I'll tell you what, not in my house, mate. Not in my house. This is my opinion of the 25th of October 2016. I'm a human being and therefore I am able to change my opinion in the future, and my opinion might be different to what it was in the past. Life is like that. But yes, on to the point. Now, intellectual property. That's a sticky issue for me. It's a sticky issue. When Hasbro made the Transformers, they didn't so much make an intellectual property, but they created a mythology. They created a mythology, and it's something that me and many others like me have grown up with since we were children, since we were kids. This stuff's been going on. And comic books, cartoons, toys, idols. It's a mythology. And for me, when you say intellectual property, I like to think that there's an intellect behind it, but there's not one intellect behind it. The intellects behind the Transformers, the people who designed Convoy, the Bob Budiansky who did loads of the background stuff, even Simon Furman who put in the roots of this mythology of Primus and Unicron, and the other writers of the G1 cartoon who created other things, Quintessons, all this type of stuff, all very different people hired to do the job. Hasbro is the owner of the intellectual property, but it's not the intellect behind making that property. And since the birth of the microchip, society's been in freefall, and everything's just going faster and faster and faster. If I want to adapt a Shakespeare play, I can adapt a Shakespeare play. If I want to make action toys of Shakespeare toys, I could make action toys of Shakespeare toys. I would argue that Transformers are a lot more cultural relevant to me than Shakespeare is, even though, I have worked as a Shakespearean actor. But yeah, that's my mythology. That is what I have grown up with. So if you want to make your version of Optimus Prime, go the hell, son. Go on to do it. If you want to make some obscure characters that Hasbro, aren't going to employ the line and put your own design aesthetics on it, then help yourself. If you want to do, all these things, you want that representation of the character, and you want to bring that to the fans, then good on you. Go for it. For me, it is a mythology, and I'm not sure how intellectual property applies to it. You can't copyright Zeus, you can't copyright Odin, you can't copyright, all these people, but you can copyright Transformers, and they are copyrighted, and they are Hasbro's things. And that's where the line is. The line between the third party and the knockoffs. It's these damn masterpieces. That's where it is. It seems to me that a lot of companies, the business strategy is of a lot of third companies at the moment is to beat Hasbro to the market with characters. It's not so much as to fill a gap in the market, it's to fill a very specific gap in the market that they may well know what Hasbro's release schedule is, Takara's release schedule is, and fill that gap. So it's kind of like knocking off a figure before it's out. If you look at things like Inferno and Grapple, Megatron, it just feels that way to me, that they're trying to make a fast buck before the official one comes in, because then they won't be able to make those characters. Rather than making characters going, they're not going to do this one for a while, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, we're going to choose that. Who's going to make these? Hasbro's never going to make, 20-inch tall Dinobots. We'll make that, that's there's a difference. It's this very fine freaking line between doing that than to actually knocking off your masterpieces. I know it's not quite copying someone's work. It's not like tracing over the Mona Lisa, passing it on as your own. It's not like me saying, well, actually, I wrote this Shakespeare play, rather than putting that Shakespeare play on. It's more like, oh, I've edited it down to make it, better. So give me money for editing this play down. You know what I mean? It's not, But if you adapted it into the play into a modern setting, if you changed the language, if you made it your own, then that's fair enough, isn't it? We wouldn't have the Magnificent Seven without the Seven Samurai. We wouldn't have Star Wars without the Forbidden Fortress or something silly like that. But yeah, it's adaptation is a glorious thing. Knocking stuff off, copying someone's work, and trying to make a fast buck out of it. Go fuck yourself. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. And also, my opinion is when people decide to do original ideas, original designs of nice transforming robots, you should probably support the Unrustable Bastard Kickstarter. I'm a bastard, you should be a bastard too. But until then, the next time, be careful to each other. Be careful to each other. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And because you deserve it, we're going to do a very awkward, because it's the touch screen phone. Bestow! Bestow! Because here's the stop button. Bestow!